Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. Johann Duhaupas. I see he's gonna be back in action on the 16th, September 16th, against Evgeny Orlov. They've already fought before. Duhaupas beat him in 2009 by decision. Let me just scroll down here. Yeah, he beat him in 2009, 6 round unanimous decision. And I'm trying to think, man. Duhaupas, we know he's been in there with Deontay Wilder. He's been in there with Manuel Char, Erkin Tepper, and he has he had the loss to Tepper, but it was a good showing, and that's when Erkin Tepper was somebody that we was looking at as being very dangerous. We know Tepper went on to ice David Price. Then he had the drug testing issue, but when he fought Tepper at this time, this one Tepper was looked at as somebody dangerous. It was a good fight. They were going back and forth. That was a good fight. He picked up the win over Manuel Char. He had a decent showing against Deontay Wilder, man. He swabbed up, I believe, both of Wilder's eyes. They were given and taken. He was taking a lot of Deontay Wilder's shots. Even in that 11th round, was it? Yeah, it was 11th round. Some fans thought the ref should have let it go on a little bit longer, at least until he hit the mat or at least been knocked down once, because Duhaupas isn't somebody that gets knocked out a lot or knocked down a lot or any of that. Wilder was the first time he got stopped, and then the fight with Povetkin. Okay, after the Wilder fight, he ended up fighting Nascimento, another journeyman level guy. Although I thought Nascimento, I know he's had his fair share of losses and knockout losses, but I thought he beat Marius Wack. What was that, last year? I thought he beat Marius Wack, Nascimento. But anyways, he beat Nascimento after the Wilder defeat. And then he fought Robert Helenius. And this is when I really thought he was getting his name back up there, man, because Helenius was undefeated. It was for the vacant WBC silver heavyweight title. He knocked out Helenius. I picked Helenius to beat him in that fight. In my prediction video, I was wrong. He was coming forward. You know how do up a fight, puts up the high guard, come forward, likes to, let you get off, and he'll come off with his, right hands, left hooks, left hook, right hook to the body type of punch. He's one of those type of dudes. Like to come forward with the high guard. Then after he won that title, he was scheduled to fight Carlos Takam in January of this year. I believe it was late January they were going to fight for that WBC silver title. Stavern ends up pulling out, or Povetkin had the drug testing issue. First Stavern did, and then some time went by, and then Povetkin had some wrong with his drug test, and then Stavern actually pulled out of that fight with Povetkin after that drug test that Povetkin had. And then Duhaupas, he just left his WBC title, that silver title, I'm sorry. And then he decided to fight Povetkin. I think he just couldn't, I think they offered him enough money, just put it like that. And he ended up fighting him in December of last year. So he wasn't ready to fight. He wasn't due to fight until late January. I believe that Takam date, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that Duhaupas Takam fight was like late, it was late January, like January 28th or something like that. So he ended up taking a fight in the middle of December with damn near, a month and a half to go of his training camp to get ready for Takam. So he took the money, and I guess he just tried to just take a chance, going over Povetkin and try to take a chance. And he ended up getting iced. I mean, Povetkin, he stretched him, man. He stretched him out. You know what I mean? And then he came back and he picked up a victory against the journeyman in April. And now he's fighting Orlov. You know what I mean? So how much do Duhaupas have left, man? I guess we'll see. Stoppage by Wilder. Then he got knocked out viciously by Povetkin. After the Helenius win, and then if he would have had to fight with Takam, I really thought that, you could put him in there with, again, like a guy like Takam or a Charles Martin or Dominic Brazil. I'm just throwing names out there. Andrew Reese Jr., Brian Jennings. Based on his style, based on what I've seen in the Wilder fight, based on what I've seen when he knocked out Helenius, the Manuel Char win, even the Erkin Tepper fight, I thought he was one of those guys you can put in there and make for some good fights with those guys that are, fringe contenders or guys that are, top 15-ish type of guys. You know what I mean? But I guess we'll see what he has left, man. I really thought he shouldn't have took that Povetkin fight. He just wasn't ready. Now, maybe with a full training camp, he would never be able to beat Povetkin. Fair enough. But at least he would have been in shape and ready to go. he wasn't in shape for that fight, man. And he just wasn't ready to fight. He literally took the fight on what, a day notice or some crazy shit like that, like 2 days notice. Wasn't ready to fight, man. You take a fight the middle of December and your fight wasn't due until late January. You know, so I believe it was late January. I believe so, but it was in January. I think it was late January, but against Takum. But hopefully he gets this victory against Orlov. It'll be a rematch. Now, Orlov is a guy, man. He's a big dude. He's a big dude. He has his fair share of losses. As you see his record here, 17 wins, 15 losses, 1 draw. It's a rematch. But Orlov is a... If you go on YouTube and see him fight Helenius, and he has a few fights on YouTube, man. He fights this weird, awkward-ass style, man. I think he's like 6'9", 300-some pounds. Kind of probes with his jab. He kind of dude that lean back with his because he's an orthodox fighter, so he'll lean back, kind of slap your jab down with his jab hand, and then he'll sneak his jab in there and come with an overhand right. Then he'll grab you and hold you. Then he'll move around a little bit. He's just one of those type of dudes, one of them cagey type dudes, man, where he may get knocked out, you know what I mean, but he might push you to the distance. So I expect Duhaupas to get a second victory over Orlov, as you see is here. Like I said, you know, he's been knocked out. Adrian Granat got him out of there. Plachenko got him out of there. Glaskov, Pulev, you know what I mean? I just watched the Pulev fight, and it took Pulev a while to get him figured out. He went the distance with Mariusz Wach, even went the distance with Pulev when they fought the first time. So he's just a real big, awkward guy, man. But I don't know, man. Just what do y'all think about Johann Duhaupas? If he wins this fight, who would you like to see him fight next? Maybe a Helenius rematch? Maybe a mix it up with somebody maybe on the European level? You know what I mean? I know David Price. David Price wants to come back. Probably see him in there with a David Price. Let me see. I believe David Price is coming back. Let me see. Let me just make sure, man. I could have swore I put up a video a while ago about David Price coming back. Let's see here. Let me see. David Price right there. Yeah, I won't mind seeing him taking one of these type of fights, man. Yeah, that's right. David Price is fighting Rafael Zambunolov. I did a video about this. How the hell did I forget about this? But yeah, he's fighting. So maybe somebody like that. But you guys let me know think in the comment section about Johann Duhaupas, man. How much do you think he has left in the tank, man? After that vicious knockout loss against Povetkin and Wilder, he got stopped. But he picked up a victory between those fights. But what do y'all think he has left, man? Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.